Hello, and welcome back to Philosophy Cafe. Last episode we talked about stigma and belief, and just before we get into today's episode, I just wanted to talk about what was said in episode one, and I realized I missed a few very important points in that essay. Primarily, one of the most important things about being this mindful philosopher that I mentioned, um, and being able to question your own ideas is it's not so much double guessing or relinquishing your thoughts so much as it is considering the opposing realm and adjoining it or adding it to your already thoughts, and being able for your thoughts to be fluid and dynamic. That is, that they're not set in stone, and you believe that you're constantly right. If ever a philosopher thinks that they are totally, wholly correct, then they're no longer a philosopher at all. Also, another point about being this mindful philosopher, we said, to combat stigma, other than the other things I mentioned, to combat this societal rumor that takes place and really grasps people and spreads invalidity and untruth amongst the minds of many, is listening. Listening is again probably one of the most important traits of a philosopher. Is not just to talk and to think and to grow your ideas and be able to accept all coming knowledge, but simply listening. It's a hard practice, but if you ever find yourself thinking about the reply to a question when someone's talking to you, you may be thinking about that as opposed to listening to them, and they may have more things to say. But that's all for the last episode. Just thought I'd make those notes. Today's episode of Philosophy Cafe is called Impact and Influencing. Our philosophers for today are Voltaire and Jean-Jacques Rousseau. Everything around us exercises some influence upon us. Whether physically or morally, influence may be exerted on a being without moving that being, and one idea influences another. Voltaire's Philosophical Dictionary, Volume 2, 1764. This we all understand to be true, but how often are we conscious of the effect of our actions, truly? It's very easy to think in an insular fashion. We all do it. Especially after a long hard day, we can care not for the waitress or the ticket man, brushing them off as an obstruction to our endeavours and quests of the utmost importance. In this state, one of anger, or sadness, or inward thought, which seems to make your life all the more important, one action can bleed into another human being's day, sending them into this similar state, one where rejection is commonplace, and reaching out to another human in love is an act feared. A failed attempt to reach out to another in public can leave you estranged. Usually, but not always, due to the person who rejected your attempt at conversation's fear of being rejected themselves. Reading the room, as the saying goes, leaves one thinking, these people don't wish to speak. But if the room is always quiet and insular, are we reading it well, or are we too afraid to affect it? What I mean to say by this is, it is very easy to be consumed by your own goings and believe that your day is more important. And it's quite hard to see past the barriers of our mortal coil and the primal emotions that bind us. But if you truly do look and think, why was this person angry at me, or this person's not important, I need to do this thing, then you're not necessarily considering their day. Even more important, you're not necessarily considering how that action may affect them, and then how their actions may affect another. And if we have a place where you see people um, in this state, say you've read the room and everyone's quiet on their phones, heads down, you wonder. I don't want to reach out. I don't want to put myself in this vulnerable position and start speaking to these people because they will think I am weird. But if you truly think about it, when was the last time a random person just came up to you and said, "Hello, how are you? What's going on in your life?" Did that offend you? Were you angry at them? Were you going to reject them or shut them down? Usually no. And for most people, no. Really, we don't mind if other people approach us. It's usually not much of a fear that we have. For some, it is the fear of being rejected from ourselves that person we reach out to will slap the reached hand that stops so many wondrous interactions happening between human beings. And we must remember that rejection doesn't have anything to do with you. That person's not rejecting you because they don't like you. That person is rejecting you because they think it's normal. They think it's normal because they too have been rejected, and it's the only way they can continue to funnel that emotion in a way that seems normal. Just consider for a moment, in the world we live in, the amount of people you walk past every day, on the train or on the bus or even on the street. These people you try to walk past, or you may get angry at because they smoked in your face or they brushed up on your shoulder. And both of you are rushing to get somewhere so important, somewhere that's you need to be, and all of these things are getting in your way, all these people are getting in your way. Think, perhaps, that these people you walk past could potentially be your best friend, colleague, someone that could work on a project with you, someone that could help you get to the place you really, truly want to be. I think next time, step out of this realm of the hustle and bustle and consider what is truly more important. Getting somewhere on time, or doing a certain thing in a certain parameter, or acknowledging the importance and existence of another human being and trying to reach out to them. Further on, we only see these moments in the time and space our mortal coil allows. This, however, it seeps and reaches farther than you may know. The buzz of a city on a bright day, or the dreary dredge of the horde on a miserable day, heads hung low, could be altered by your love and gleam, or the storm that follows your head. In this moment, amongst these folk, strangers, your brothers and sisters, it is scary to speak up, initiate conversation, try to understand and connect with these astonishing individuals you pass every day. A smile, a compliment, even a wink, a tip of the hat, could elate one to degrees of inspiration. Why not take the first step? 1 out of 10 times you may be left estranged. However, do not think this is your fault. Due to your being, it is usually the insecurity of the other. Don't blame them for wanting science either. Be proud that you tried, and did make someone smile. Smiles are contagious, as they say. Sometimes, although hard to admit it, maybe we see people around us as objects, obstacles. Someone sneezes. That is an ailment I must avoid. Someone is blocking the way. That is something I must get past or move. This is usually the initial reaction to our surroundings. Truly think about it. Truly think about it. You see yourself, as a human, and you may see people you know quite well as friends, family, parents, brothers, sisters, so forth. But if you're going to work in the day and you're walking through and there's so much input and stimuli, you don't have the capacity and brain space to consider the life of every single individual that walks past you. And to simplify things, our brain goes obstacles, objects. Here are a bunch of people I need to walk past. Here's eye contact. Ooh, what's this? Like, how do I get from A to B? What's this person looking at? You think these are obstructions to my endeavors. We must fight this reaction and look deeper into the people around us and consider their lives, dreams, and hopes, and how we are all a part of the same story. When I speak about the buzz of a city or the drone of a sad day, this is not some. Do not be set aside by the bystander effect and think that this is just it. It's a miserable day. It's the rain. It's this. It's that. You are a part of humanity. We are each actors and catalysts for the vibe of these cities. Truly, your effect could make the difference between an entire tram bursting into speech. Because as soon as one person makes himself vulnerable, as soon as one person has the bravery and strength to speak up, others will follow suit. Others love seeing people in vulnerable positions. Like you see someone on stage and you go, oh, that's crazy, But he starts to, it's like, oh, look how scary this guy's on stage. But the way he speaks and what he does makes you feel more comfortable because you're not being the one pointed out. And this vulnerability allows other humans to do so much more. And don't be afraid to do it. We are all a part of the same story. Realizing that everyone, including strangers passed in the street, has a life as complex as one's own, which they are constantly living, is a feeling called Sonder. Initiate Sonder as often as possible. It is a healthy and profound practice. This is a look at your emotional and physical effect on the world. The words you speak and the examples you set carry weight, as does our impact on the world and climate, which, much like the people around you, is in dire need of love. Absolute silence leads to sadness. It is the image of death. Jean-Jacques Rousseau, Reveries of a Solitary Walker, 1776. Thank you. That was Philosophy Cafe for today. The book to read, or moreover a debate, in fact, outlined around The Social Contract by Jean-Jacques Rousseau, which I highly suggest reading, is I also suggest researching the debate between Thomas Hobbes and Rousseau, and these Enlightenment thinkers, and their debate is around the morality, the intrinsic, the natural morality of human beings, whether we are born to be compassionate, comparing, and good, or if we, as Hobbes says, solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. And that topic is something to think about, and perhaps we will reach at another episode. Hopefully that stimulates your mind. Thank you very much for tuning in to Philosophy Cafe. Please like and subscribe on our YouTube channel and Facebook page, and we will see you next week or next month or whenever it is released for another episode. Thank you. If you ever wish to interlock with me and discuss the episteme or the philosophy behind any of the topics spoken about here, please feel free to contact the Regicide Collective Facebook page, and you can comment on the YouTube videos and contact us on our website. Thank you very much, and I won't be a Callicles to your Socrates, if you know what I mean. Little joke about little philosophical joke there. Thank you very much. I'll see you soon.